Hi, it's me. This is my hashtag walking away video. And I did walk away from the Democrats. It's weird to say that I was a Democrat, but I was. Let me explain. It started obviously with a lot of people, with the Bernie Sanders movement. Before then, I've always enjoyed politics from a young age. My involvement in school functions and in classes, and I just enjoy that. Enjoy knowing what's going on. When I was a stay-at-home mom, I would sit there and watch C-SPAN with my favorite empty chairs, basically. But I would watch all of them. I would watch Fox News. I would watch the CNN, MSNBC. I flipped it around because I kind of got that everyone was spinning. I knew they were all telling their own spin, and it was weird to watch the same thing. You know, like one article, you read it now article, or one news station would say something, and then the other one would say something with the same information, and it was different. So I thought that I was smart enough to be able to tell each slanted side and try to pick through it myself. I do not advise that now. I believe it's more damaging to watch any kind of control network. So I encourage people to just completely forget about what they're trying to tell you. They're trying to sway you, and even you processing the headlines and trying to dig for it. It's still in your psyche, and I don't think it's healthy. Not for the country, not for yourself. So Bernie came around, and before that I just decided it was all corrupt, it was pointless, it was, I didn't trust anyone, they're all liars. Which is true, pretty much all liars. And when Bernie ran, I said, I was watching it beforehand, a couple years before the midterms, but the primaries. So he was on my radar, and I was hoping he would run, and I said if he ran, I would walk door to door. And he put his name in, and while I don't agree with him 100%, I did, go door to door. I live in rural East Texas, and it's very conservative here, but my time going door to door talking to people, hours on end, has been positive. Even when I talk to people who were a different spectrum than me, it was still a positive exchange. There was only a couple of bad apples, so to say, people that were just nasty people. It is my door-to-door conversations that led me to believe it doesn't matter who you are, what your life experience is. We're all pretty much the same. We're, politically, we may be being pulled left and right, and it's insane the manipulation being done to us, and it has an effect on us. But when you boil it down, we have more in common than we don't. And when you have a conversation with someone and you're not shouting, you're not being mean, it's completely different from a forum online or on your Facebook even you might know them or friends of friends, but there's still a disconnect that you can't get when you're looking into someone's eyes. Now, what I did with Bernie Sanders when he was running, I was going to people and I was vouching for him. I was saying, look into it. Either way, vote. Your vote counts. I naively thought your vote counted. And after the Democrats lied and cheated and suppressed votes, I could not look myself in the mirror if I stood behind that. They have not addressed all of the wrongdoings. None of them. They haven't addressed any of them. And I can't morally put that past me. It's my own character at stake. I did join the local Democrats after the election. On the election the next day, I cried. I did not cry because Trump won. I cried because of how many votes third parties got. This is what I told everyone. I don't care if you're more conservative on more issues or more liberal on some issues. Look out there and find a third party, because the main parties are just completely run by money, and they're liars and they don't care. So I was hoping to see a swell of third-party votes, and we didn't get that. And so I was just frustrated and upset because I thought, wow, we're totally screwed. People are stuck in this left and right, red and blue paradigm, and there's no getting out of it. There's no undoing this hold that brainwashing has on us and groupthink. So depressing. But I went ahead and joined the Democrats to quote-unquote reform the party, take it over, and the Democrats in the area are extremely weak. They have no structure. They don't really put effort in. I don't think they put effort in, but it's mostly like a pastime, a club. I'm in a few clubs, and I have hobbies, and that's kind of what they were kind of doing. It wasn't like doing the hard work that it takes, and actually it seemed like it was so difficult. And now it's part of the hashtag resist right when it first came out, indivisible. And I did not stay that long because they focused on negative things. It was supposed to be nonpartisan, and it turned into something that wasn't nonpartisan. And for me, it was always about informing people. Like, I don't care if you like what your representative is doing, or if your representative is of your same party. You should be looking at the votes, because the majority of the time they're voting the way you don't want them to. And for me, that's what it was about. It was checking power. These people that we give power, that we're supposed to give power to, that we're supposed to vote and be a part of our system. It's such a lot to talk about. And a painful subject, really. When I was working with the Democrats, despite the fact that I don't consider myself a Democrat. I never was, really. I'm to the left. I'm very far to the left. And I say proudly. And I think there's a lot of misrepresentation of people on the left. And it's just miseducation, misinformation. And that's fine. I don't fault people for it. But hearing people attack people for no reason other than who they quote-unquote voted for, and not seeing why people voted for Trump or why people like Trump, it's clear to see why. For me, it is. I mean, the American people are hurting. They've been lied to and cheated. Like, my whole life it's happened before I was even born. And even if we don't know everything in the whole scope of it, a lot of us know enough that it makes us angry. It makes us angry when people promise us change and they don't bring change. I never was on the Obama wagon. For some reason, when he spoke, to me, I didn't see a fire. I didn't see it. I thought he was co-opted, or not co-opted. I just thought he was one of them. I didn't think he was anyone else. So the Democrats would attack people, and I was always saying, you can't attack people. You got to talk to people. You got to have conversations with them. You have more in common than you don't. They're your neighbors. They're your friends. They're your coworkers. You can't have these such nasty views of them. And then they would also say, oh, you're wasting your time. I don't think anyone is a waste of time. I mean, if that's the case, then pretty much everyone's a waste of my time. So, hashtag walk away. Oh, that was a good one. There was a lot of negativity. There was a lot of attacking. And on top of Russia stuff, it was very difficult. I got accused of being a Russian operative or something. I don't know. It was weird. I was just like, are you seriously on the page that I created calling me out as a Russian bot? Obviously, I'm not a bot. They knew me. They met me in person. They knew I wasn't a bot, but worst feeling ever. And I just wanted to scream. Nobody felt the same. I had, and I have, more in common with Trump supporters than I do with people closer to me on the left. And something's wrong when that happens. The way people attacked Obama was wrong. His policies were horrible. If you attack his policies, perfectly good. But just like if you attack Trump's policies, fine. But it's just more division. It's more fighting amongst ourselves. It's more separating. And now that they have control of our media, they've always had a media, but their social media, it's going down. It's only the independent people that can start to bring voices. But even then, a lot of them, they're not on the ground. The independent voices you hear, a lot of them, they're not in the thick of it. They don't have any experience. What they're doing is reading headlines or whatever and doing their interpretation, which can be positive in some regards, but you're also lacking something. If we don't have on-the-ground journalists actually interviewing people and seeing what's happening, kind of like this movement here, the hashtag walk away. You hear people's voices, you see that they're real people, and hey, wait, this narrative is not being told. We're being told all the people on this side are this way and all the people on that side are that way. So think very, very hard before you try to label someone on the left, even in Antifa or anyone else, or the Nazis. You should think very hard. What does the media want in me? Why do they want me to think this way? Why do I think this way about someone that I haven't talked to? I don't know their group. I don't know, exactly what's going on. Because even big events can be, I'm not going to say exactly staged. They can be staged, but they can be heavily influenced. And our interpretation of them influenced. At this point, we should be trying to find where our common ground is, because if people cannot find common ground, it really is a waste of time. It's just stressful for all of us, and we're just making it even more stressful. And all the things that could be better, all the things that could change, all the things we could have don't happen. And they continue to make strides. They continue to take freedoms away from us. They continue to put us against each other and divide us even more. I encourage everyone to get involved in your local community. Start a club or something. Start something that helps people in your community, helps your neighbors, because a lot of people are hurting. It doesn't matter where you live. Things aren't getting better, and right now we have a system that doesn't work for any of us, and our best bet is to create our own systems, to go with our nonprofits, to start our own clubs, to start our own nonprofits and charities, and try to take care of each other. Try to think about what's being put into your mind, into your psyche, and try to fight that, and just try to see people's perspective a little bit. I'm out.